Hey Wayne, it's not unusual to see you up here. You're always bringing good fighters up to the North Island, but you're up here for a different reason at the moment.
Yes, I'm actually up here for the new IBA New Zealand organisation that's starting out, and we're up here for a week's training for judging and refereeing. So that's going really well. Dougie is the new president of the Aotearoa IBA Association. So yeah, there's some really exciting things in the pipelines.
One of the things that I noticed, and we've touched on it off camera, is that, I was asking myself, why would it take a week to train a judge or a referee? And you've come up with a good answer.
Yeah, it's like, to be able to go through all the protocols of the standards of what the refereeing is, the hand signals, as well as the judging and what the judges are actually looking for, because, how they score about, and just going through that whole process. And the great thing is having that interaction with the trainers, but also being here and actually doing it inside a ring. And getting the guys that are sparring that we're actually judging. So it's giving us that experience, rather than sitting down in a classroom and getting told this and that. It's been awesome because the banter and the debates that we've been having has been awesome. So it's been really good.
And there's a wide selection of people with different backgrounds and from various parts of New Zealand.
Yes, I mean, we've got a couple of trainers from Christchurch, Bob and James. Also Siru, who's our international coach from Brisbane, but he's been to Fiji, Samoa, right around the Pacific training. And he's had so much international experience in both the Commonwealth and Olympics. So yeah, he's amazing. And just having that type of knowledge inside the room, and for us guys to be learning it all is really a great experience, especially for me, because we're always learning.
Well, you've seen more fights than most, and the thing that is everybody's bugbear, no matter what fighting sport, is that the decisions, like a fighter losing a fight where things are obvious and somebody hasn't seen it, or for whatever other reason. Do you think what you've seen so far, that the IBA takes that a little bit more serious?
Yeah, there was a lot of controversy with boxing internationally and at the Olympics, and IBA was involved with that. So a lot of that politics and stuff with corruption and that's a bit way over our heads. We're basically in the grassroots, and we're learning that stuff. And for us, it's all about honesty, integrity, and being able to call what you see, and that's what they're training. I mean, it's always going to be there'll always be issues with judges, because as coaches, I myself, I'm very passionate about my fighter, and if I see, I have a tendency to sort of like want them to win and that sort of stuff. And so if the decision doesn't go our way, then we get a bit upset. But that's just the passion, and which I expect all coaches are. Jason Suddy is a classic person that when we have our fighters brief and that sort of stuff, and he always says, look, if you guys want to win and that sort of stuff, fight hard, fight fair, but at the end of the day, if you want to be serious about this, don't leave it. You have the win in your own hands. You have 3 rounds to actually dominate, or to stop the fight and take it out of the hands of the judges. So, so he says, if you have to complain, it has to be for something that's totally blatant. And that sort of stuff. Otherwise, if it's a close fight, you left it in the hands of someone else. So you have to live with it.
Yeah, I've been told, and you might be able to enlighten me on this, but I was told that the IBA, with their international competitions and that the judging is put up straight away on the website, and that people from anywhere in the world can see what the scores were. There's no judge number one said something, and I think you've probably been in the situation where you go to look at the scores, oh, they've been lost, or that I don't know where they are, sort of thing. The integrity is pretty good as far as what I hear.
From what I'm learning, because I'm very new to the IBA organisation, and I've been in amateur boxing for many years, but as you know, originally with the amateur boxing, we ended up having a situation where amateur boxing wanted to get involved with professional boxing, and this is going back a number of years. And back then, as a coach who was working with amateur boxers, we were actually asked to not coach professional boxers from different organisations. So we were given a letter, and basically we had to sign and say, no, I won't box. And I couldn't do that because, one, I was working with kickboxers who were professional kickboxers, plus I was working with professional boxers who were fighting in different organisations. So it was very hard for me to do that. So I ended up having to resign from my association because I didn't want to do any ill repute and that sort of stuff. But I was out. I was out of the boxing scene for a number of years until, slowly, all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay, you're okay. You can come back now, because now they're doing, people can coach professionals, and so right now we started to affiliate ourselves with our boxing association. But unfortunately, I am quite lucky because our gym is quite young, so we haven't actually entered any amateur competitions with New Zealand boxing as of yet. And so when this opportunity came with Doug, with IBA organisation, having another organisation in New Zealand with amateur boxing, and plus another pathway for us as judges and referees, I decided to resign from my current organisation and join Doug and the Aotearoa IBA organisation. So it's a new journey, it's new learning. I still have very strong relationships with boxing gyms in Christchurch, and I hope that doesn't stop, because it would be such a shame. But here we are, new journey, and looking forward to it.
That's good, Wayne. Just leaving that for a minute, just tell us a little bit about the gym and how many fighters you got. Are you going to be bringing any up over the next few months?
Yes. I mean, there's a number of shows that are coming up. I mean, we have our own grassroots show on this Saturday. It's a Canterbury Throwdown, grassroots, novice. So that's happening, and I fly down on Saturday morning, go and set up the ring, and then we go through the process for the show. We have one of our fighters in Wellington fighting in Rumble, and it's just a new experience for him, and that's on Friday, this Friday. But the big one that's coming up is Jason's Arsenal X. And we have 3 fighters on that show. We have young Cody Sione, and he's coming up against AJ Foster, and that is going to be a crazy fight. Man, those two are very talented boys, very talented. And I wouldn't be able to pick it, but I know it's going to be a huge, it'll be great. We also have Dane Edge. He's coming up against Ezra Bergen from Core MMA, I think. And that's going to be another great fight. I mean, Ezra is very experienced, tough fighter, and Dane's, he's improving every time he comes out, and he's one of one of our students that has really grown, and he's one of the guys. Whenever I ask him, it's really how it goes. Whenever I ask him, "Do you want to fight?" he never turns it down. He's never turned anything down. So when I asked him about this fight, he said, yes, I'd love to. It's the only way I can learn, get in there and compete. And so, you know, it's like, okay, well, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's have a look at Ezra and then work out a game plan. And hopefully it works.
Oh, you've got plenty on and plenty to look forward to. Great to catch up with you again. And
Thank you, Tony.
yeah.
Oh man, it's so good seeing you. Yeah, awesome, thank you.
One of my heroes.
Oh.
One of the first guys that you ever had an association with. You know?
And it's been a long one. It's been a really long one.
Yeah,
awesome.
Long time to go too, mate. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, mate.
All right.